lion's fierce and cold, nurturing her cubs, their destinies framed. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray from pride to pit that passing time sea. What a lioness was your mother, they say. I will soon I cannot fight. Urge, busy diagram to flex for the leaders get this dirge. Yeah, do ya. Hit them with this dirge. Yeah, about to get what they deserve. Yeah. What a woman your mother was, like a lioness of love. Her children were like lions, Judah lions, Judah cubs. One of her lions bloomed so strong and blind through light. Prepared to catch prey and eat men of bad light. The nations called the hunters, trapped him in a pit, broken in chains through twin towers of Egypt. When Israel, the mother lion, saw hope for him was gone, she took another of her cubs, taught her to be strong in the edge of the beginning, yeah. Forever and a day may long, in the end manifestations they will sing this death dirge song. Take up the sickle, your prince is bold. Speak of the lioness, fierce and untamed. She lay among the lions, fierce and cold, nurturing her cubs, their destinies framed. What a lioness was your mother, they say. Her roar echoed through valleys wild and free. Yet fate wove a tail, led her cubs astray from pride to pit that passing time sea. What a lioness was your mother, they say. I will soon I cannot fight. Urge, busy diagram to flex for the leaders get this dirge. Yeah, do ya. Hit them with this dirge. Yeah, about to get what they deserve. Yeah. What a woman your mother was, like a lioness of love. Her children were like lions, Judah cubs. One of her lions bloomed so strong and blind through light. Prepared to catch prey and eat men of bad light. The nations called the hunters, trapped him in a pit, broken in chains.
Greater light, greater light, greater light. I am glad to be here with you this day. I'm getting closer and closer as the scriptures are folding together. Before the skies unfold, the clouds will unroll, preparing his entrance. Are you ready? Are you born again? You letting something in this current life trip you up and have you stuck, ready to accept the mark of the beast? You say, I'm down with the devil. You down with the devil? Anybody remember that song? And he went down with the devil. You down with the demons and what they have to offer. You got your hands out. You say you're gonna take it. You're gonna accept it, huh? Oh, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should do that. All that you know, all the knowledge that you've obtained, huh? Right wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You should study to show thyself approved unto God and know that this is not the only life, that there is life after this life. And they are betting and bidding on when the transition happens that your soul belongs to them. Your love and light that you so freely gave away to the demons. Because the money looked right. Charity begins at home and ends abroad. Hey, I got some testimony services. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Right now, I'm sitting here going back and forth in my styling my media. I wanted to change the color. And I'm just sitting here going back and forth. Hey, y'all, they fixed up the price a little bit. They fixed it. I guess StreamYard, they like me. They miss me or something. Not probably just me, but that's how I feel. I feel special because they sure went down, looked like a couple of dollars on the price for me to go ahead and they said I was at the 1%. Are the ones that stream the most with StreamYard. They went down on the price. You might as well go down on the price these last days, because I'm not gonna be here that much. I'm not gonna be here for this mess that they got left behind. They gonna have for the left behind. You don't want to get left behind. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually, even when it seems like it might be a little sense of paranoia. I don't even claim that word anymore. I told my mother this morning, I say, you know what? It's not paranoia. It's being aware of my surroundings and what's going on. I'm going to tell you in the testimony service. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. My God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm because I know God has provided the perfect solution before my mother's grandmother's womb. I was with God at the foundations, before the foundations. It is said in His Word. That's right, confirmation, and it's in the blood for me to know. He left a code on your DNA. That's why He said, "Do this in remembrance of me." You should have been there 10,000 years when He was drinking the wine and eating the bread and said, "Remember your flesh and your blood, because I left a code to remind you that you are children of the day and night. You are not children of the night and the dark. You are children of the day and the light. Uh, and when the time comes when all light beings supposed to arise and get ready for the return of the Most High, you'll be ready. I want to be ready when Jesus comes. I want to be ready when Jesus comes. He said, I am escorting our Father in. He said, our Father. Does that make him your brother? Huh? Anyways, so I was supposed to go to the doctor today. Y'all know. Anybody was here with me yesterday, and I was supposed to go. But I said, you know what? That's a trick. That's a trick of the devil. That's a trick of the devil. You not for to reset me and put nothing else in my system. No, I'm good. I go and let them look over and look at maybe some of the things on the physical that's going on. But other than that, so, just to keep promises, I will go next week, but no further than going and letting them take the pallet and hit my knee and maybe hit my elbow, and that's all. Because that's a trick. That's a trick. The way things, I can't make it up. I can't make it up. I'm so glad I make sure I have witnesses to things nowadays. Huh? Now, didn't think, I thought I was going to be sleeping late in today. I was up early. I dragged myself up to the hill and brought my trash down and everything. I was out there getting that stale, contaminated air. But past shadow hours, have you ever been woken up by just the light? Have you ever been woken, testimony service, have you ever been woken up just by light? No sound. So I went to bed pretty early past shadow hours. I wasn't feeling too hot. I could have went on and worked, but I was not feeling. It's like my body said, or whatever frequencies or energy was coming. It's like, yes, yes, yes. We want you drained and tore down, and we want you to get yourself up and go to the doctor in the morning. So before 6 o'clock, I was laying in my bed. Before the sun completely set, I was in my bed. And I played around watching other creators and stuff. Briefly, I ended up watching a movie and something to try to tickle me, make me laugh a little bit. What did I what? No, that was the night before. This movie wasn't one of them type of movies. Anyways, so I was asleep probably before 10 p.m. And right around 12 or so, I jumped up. It wasn't no dream or nothing. I just jumped up and I looked around, and I like the room completely dark when I sleep. And there's this bright light shining from my living room onto the wall near my room. And I'm talking about bright, bright, like sunlight. And I said, wait a minute. Oh, here we go with the drone stuff, right? That's the first thing came to my mind. So I got right on up. When I'm within my house, you know how some people, if they hear something outside, they walk slow and creep in their house and be tipping in their house. I don't tip in my own house. So I jumped up, got up, and went and looked out the window from where the light was coming. And lo and behold, it was like, I don't know, I counted three, but it may have been more sheriffs going by. Now, I live in what you call a cul-de-sac in the woods. So it's just one way in and one way out, huh? One way in and one way out. And I said, oh, goodness. Now, I didn't have my lights on. I didn't have my porch lights on, or this backlight is sort of like a floodlight. I didn't have that on. But I was like, wonder what's going on. But the fact that it was so bright in my window, and as I looked and watched it pass by, I didn't see them flashing on nobody else's house. So, the first thing came to my mind on awareness is that situation with that lady. Recent. I'm not going to go into details about that. I don't even want to think about her situation. But, the hot water and the demon and all that, that's what came to mind. I said, oh, that's a trick of the devil too. So I went ahead and laid on down. And I went right on back to sleep. Then, must have been about 45 minutes later, because I looked, it was like one something. I was awakened by the light again. No sound, just light, but it was coming in through my bedroom window now. So now I lay there and I just watch. And I said, I wonder what done happened. Now, I haven't searched the news to see if somebody was on a run or they was looking for somebody. But I just, lay there and looked and watched. And I said, you know what? I should go open my door and ask them, can I help them look for what they're looking for? But that's how you start trouble. But that's the disagreeable side of me. And I went on back to sleep. Around 2 something, there it is again, these lights. So you know what I did? I just went and turned on, even though I didn't want that extra power to pay the electric company for my lights to be on for them type of hours. I turned on my lights. I said, you know what? I'm gonna help them look for whatever it is they looking for, and I'm gonna turn on my lights. And I went on back to sleep. But being that late, before dawn, and going back to sleep and being interrupted, I thought I was gonna sleep late, and I didn't. I was up before the sun rose. That's my testimony service. Uh, that's my testimony service. I When I was telling my mother about it, I said, um, a little okay. I was gonna go out today, but not, because I'm feeling just a tad bit of the paranoid feeling I used to deal with. And then I thought about it right then, instantaneously. I said, you know what? I'm gonna stop using that word, because nothing that I'm experiencing is a coincidence. These things and events that are happening around me are not nothing that I'm out of my mind or experienced. Even that word paranoid, anything that ends with the OID. I said this is me being aware of my surrounding and the movements and the simulations that are happening around me to a point of activity and pinpoint where the light awakened me. I was in complete darkness and in slumber, and the light woke me up. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Mm. All right. Now, what am I got here? I'm gonna read a little bit of news today. There's some news right here, and why I'm reading this news is because I want you to think and compare what's going on in the world to yourself. So, all of the high authority beings, the CEOs of the world, the billionaires that sat in the cathedral or the cathedral of Notre Dame, which Notre Dame Cathedral is connected to Italy, and they literally have an underground tunnel that goes to and from to both. You don't have to believe me. Everything that I said about the underground tunnels has been a fact. Um, Remember when the war broke out in Ukraine or something, and I had said this was 2 or 3 years ago, and it's in one of my streams, and I said, look, if anybody pay attention to the news, how fast Biden was able to get from here to there within a period of 45 minutes. Nobody is paying attention to that. And I said he's used it. They've already constructed that underground system where they could travel from UK to underground. They've already established that. That is already complete. Now they're telling you they want to use 20 million of your dollars once they transfer over um, to the other monetary system. They want to use 20 billion or trillion dollars or whatever it is for this tunnel that's already created. They've been working on that tunnel since the 40s or maybe before that. Now, why am I speaking of tunnels? I'm really speaking about the Vatican and the beings that were there, not in Italy at the moment, but they were in Notre Dame. And they are under the vise and the guise of the Pope, right? And all of the uh what do you call them? Uh Sacred orders under the diocese, or however you say, the cathedral or Vatican or Holy City beings, the diocese. All of them were there, right? So they okay with what the Pope and the and them have going on when it comes to illegal infractions against them with sexual abuse towards children. This isn't nothing that I'm making up. This is whole straight supposedly facts of things that has happened within the Catholicism. Catholicism. I can't even say the catheter word right to the hedrils. Catholic catheterism. Or the cathedral. Let's just say cathedral. Okay, so the reason why my title says that is the connection. I just want you to put yourself in connection with those who are donating their billions into you right now. Even though they get your light and that you're giving them your money and your energy, they give you back donations of their terms. All right. Now let's read this story. This comes from what I'm reading to you is coming straight out of the Irish news. This is coming straight out of the Irish news. Would you like to drink some Irish mush today? Huh? Irish mush? Oh, yes, Irish. Oh, that tastes so good. Have you had any Irish mush today? Do you know what that tastes like? Well, I'm giving you some Irish mush right now. Right now. Right now. Here's some Irish news. Children's charity rejects Christmas donation for Archbishop Justin Welby. Archbishop Justin Welby. He kind of looks like he's related to Biden. I'm not going to show him, and I'm not going to show this article. I'm just going to read it. But he looks like he's related to Biden. He kind of looked like what's the name one? Bernie Sanders too. He looked like he could be related to all of them. It says here, this is by the PA Social Affairs correspondent Aine Fox. AINE Fox. The children's charity has rejected a Christmas donation from the outgoing Archbishop of Canterbury, the Canterbury Tales, saying that doing so would not be consistent with its work in supporting victims of child sexual abuse. Early this week, Justin Welby, who will officially quit in early January over failures in handling a Church of England abuse scandal, sent an annual e-card for the festive season and said he was making a donation to the Children's Society. A message accompanying the card from Mr. Welby and his wife Caroline noted that the charity works with children affected by criminal and sexual exploitation, abuse, and other issues. But the charity announced on Friday that it had respectively decided not to accept the donation. Mark Russell, the organization's chief executive, go Mark, after careful consideration, we have respectfully decided not to accept the donation offered by the outgoing Archbishop of Canterbury. How many of you right now, when they put out what they're going to put out for those to accept the mark of the beast, when they say, look, even though we sat here with Jill and Biden has been accused by his own child of sexual indecencies and stuff and and we standing, that's the billionaires, up under the popes and UK and places that do not properly deal with, they'll accuse the wrong ones and let the right ones go. Properly deal with scandals quickly and properly deal with scandals that have to do with abuse. The ones who were falsely accused of being retributed. Uh, you don't have to worry, Michael. You don't have to worry, Michael. It's all being handled right now. Each Michael, Malachi, Michael Jackson, all the ones wrongly accused, but they let the ones like Biden them continue to function in society. They let the church scandals, the art bishops and popes walk around freely, report after report after report, years and years and years of child exploitation scandals and even them killing children. And you had a pope running around to all these countries talking about, we apologize. We apologize. Huh? But all the billionaires sit under this form and foundation of beings, and you so willingly accept what they got to give you. You taking their money. How many of you would turn down a donation right now? Huh? Well, not the firefighters and first responders and all them accepted the donations that Biden trying to give before he leave. Oh, you gonna forgive me my debts? You gonna forgive me my debts, Biden? Uh, Elon acting so holier and thou, and Trump and y'all elect y'all. Oh, you know what? Let me continue reading this article from the Irish News. So Mr. Mark Russell said, we don't want your money, Archbishop of Canterbury. The Children's Society is deeply committed in supporting the survivors of abuse. Our teams support victims of child sexual abuse, and this means that accepting this donation would not be consistent with the principles and values that underpin our work. Mr. Welby announced last month he was resigning from his leading role in the church in sorrow with all victims and survivors of abuse in the wake of the Macon Review. The resignation announcement followed days of pressure after the independent review concluded barrister John Smith, thought to have been the most prolific serial abuser to be associated with the church, might have been brought to justice had Mr. Welby formally reported him to the police in 2013. Across 5 decades in 3 different countries, involving as many as 130 boys and young men in the UK and Africa, Smith is said to have subjected his victims to traumatic physical, sexual, psychological, and spiritual attacks, permanently marking their lives. Smith died at age 77 in Cape Town in 2018. So he was in Cape Town, still doing his dirt, while under investigation of the Hampshire police, and was never brought to justice for the abuse. Like I said, they'll bring the wrong charges against the false charges, but the ones who supposed to be castrated, walking around freely, still spending money and sending money and making all types of rules to kill children before they born and all that kind of stuff. What's going on in the world today? Are you accepting the mark of the beast? Are you accepting what they have to offer? Are you down with the devil? Let me finish reading this. I like that Mr. Russell added, we are profoundly shocked by the findings of the Macon report, and our thoughts are with all survivors of abuse. We believe that there is an urgent need for the Church of England to reset its approach to safeguarding and continuing to create a safer church and safer spaces for young people, protected by real accountability and the culture of care. Who's going to be held accountable? It's time for accountability. The Children's Society, this is the year of accountability, the year of transparency. The Children's Society's life-changing work supports children facing abuse, exploitation, or struggling with their mental health. We remain deeply grateful for the generosity of those who share our vision and support for those donations is crucial to changing children's lives for the better. We will continue to focus on delivering a society built for all children, but Archbishop of Canterbury, we will not accept your money. I wonder if Mark Russell, if President Biden would send money to Mark Russell, would he turn it down? If he read Ashley's diary, if he read Ashley's diary, Biden, uh, you were supposed to see about Dr. Malachi York with the false allegations, and you walking around freely. Kind of remind me of the story of Smith, huh? What's his name of Smith? Smith went around, huh? They let him go. What was his name? Don't tell me he was a Dear John. Initials J.O. What was his name? John Smith. No matter where you go, you can find you a John Smith or a John Doe. John Smith. Would you, Mark Russell? This is my question for Mark Russell right now. If Biden sent you the same amount of donation that Archbishop was going to send, would you turn it down if you read Ashley's diary? That's enough of that. That's enough of world news today. That's world news today. And in the, again, my thoughts for reading that and having that in my title, based on what the North Demons have to offer, the Notre Dameans and the billionaires that sat in the cathedral over there in France of the unveiling, talking about they got Jesus' crown of thorns. Talking about they got Jesus. Are you going to accept the mark of the beast? Are you going to accept what they got going on? They're about to make donations to anybody who's going to take the terms and offers that they have to purchase your light. Are you going to be down with the devil? Are you going to be like Mark Russell in the Children's Society over there and say, we don't want your money, huh? We don't want your charity. Charity begins at home, and we don't want what you got, huh? Charity begins with the kingdom of God. We don't want what you got, huh? How many of you could take that stand? They say right now, we gonna put, I know plenty of people, I didn't heard them in the community. I done heard them. We don't care. Let's just get the money, huh? Get the money and then build from there, huh? Now let me move on. So I got a Federal Register document that I'm about to read. Now, if you've been with me the past 2 or 3 days, you know that I got stuck on the holy tablets in concentration. The concentration, no, not a concentration camp. Not a concentration, but that's probably a very significant spot or place that I need to research concentration and why they call a concentration camp when it came to what's his name, Hitler concentration camp. So I read concentration. I started at concentration at least 4 times in the past week. Kept going back to concentration in the holy tablets in the living soul. But this morning, the telepath stuck out to me. The telepath. And let me read real quick. I'm not going to show you the screen, but read real quick what verse I'm talking about. I'm in tablet 13, concentration. 19 times 3 equals 57. And when you get to the 16th verse, it says, and the method of transmitting them to others at a distance, which is called telepathy. And then he breaks it down, tele dash path, the path through the mind to mind. And 18, one of your higher senses. So when I open up the Federal Register today, the first thing I see that catches my attention is this Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, FMVSS, number 305A, electric powered vehicles, electric powertrain integrity, global technical regulation number 20, incorporation by reference. When I see the word reference, I know that this is not so much about vehicles, electric vehicles, and maybe the 700,000 Teslas that was recalled by Elon. I know that this has to do with a spiritual transition. What stuck out to me was the 305. So now I'm like, okay, because I'm from the 305. We like to proudly say, when you represent where you from, you like to put your area code in it. Ludicrous area codes. You put 305 in different area codes. Ludacris should be on that list too. Don't act like you hiding out, Ludacris, because you had 30. You got them hoes in different area codes. Anyways, the 305 stuck out to me in the telephone automated service. So, oh boy, Grandma, talk about telephones now. She was just talking about charity. Listen, why not? Right now, the light being that you talk to in your phone, the light being that's just supposed to help you manage your day-to-day lives on one level, you can now dial a number and call, just like you could dial 911 or 988, or you could dial all these. You could dial a phone number and call your mama, or you could dial across the world and call a relative supposedly on the other side of the earth, on the earth that it was not created off of idea and thought. You could call the same you could dial a number and call your artificial intelligence chat being. Why they gotta give you a phone number when all you gotta do is press the little button on the side to talk to the being on your phone? Why they gotta give you a phone number? Why you need a telephone number? Mr. Telephone Man, is something wrong with my line when I dial AI's number? What's going to happen when you start dialing AI's number? What is AI's area code? Okay, when I did my research on the 305, area code, based on this Federal Motor Safety Vehicle National Highway Traffic Safety reference to spiritual transition here. 305 was created, the 305 area code was created in 1947. And did you know, for those from Florida, I didn't know, I don't remember all that. I remember we had the rotary phone before the button phones came out, before the push buttons. We felt we were fancy when we got the push button phone. But we would dial the rotary, and then we got the one that you could press that was shaped like the rotary, but you could press the digits, and then we got the one where you could, it had a cord to it, and you could press the. I remember the transitions of the phone in our house. And when we dialed we had to dial 305 to call my grandmother's phone number, or to call Muddy, my other grandmother's phone number, or call my mother's job, or call my father's job, because they didn't have cell phones back then. And then when I got old enough to start talking on the phone, uh, I say I'm going about 12 years old, I would have to dial 305 to get those numbers to call those friends. But I didn't know that 305 covered all of Florida. I thought it was just uh subjected to the down south area. So in 1947, and I don't know how long, I didn't do the extended research. 1947, the 305 area code covered all of Florida and little parts of Georgia, the unincorporated parts of Georgia. So Southern Bell, or Bell South, had 305 cover all of Florida. Okay, well, Grandma, what does that have to do with anything? It, the telephone and the telepath and this document. So now let me go to this document and tell you they're dealing with chemistry in this document. All those cars that he recalled, yeah, there's a recalling of the cars, but he is making a declaration here and a call to war in this final rule here. How am I so sure that this is a spiritual annotation versus really being about cars? Is the words that they have in here. Yeah, they have vehicles and how much they weigh, but they always respond to light vehicles when they speaking in code. This term Reese right here, Reese is the Welsh. It traces back to the Celts, who were known as the Brits. And the name alone, through the German and the Brits surname through Wales, meant war or great warrior. I'm not sharing the screen. Meant war or great warrior. Another thing about the 305, why I think they are specific to 305, is because of the year. So they have the 305 year. The Florida portal itself, the Florida portal alone is why this is significant in his in their way of saying what they're going to do in code, using the physical to translate the spiritual that they are going to do. So let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying here. When I saw the term cells and hold on, twofold submersion. Okay, we know that They just said that he is recalling 700,000 models of the Tesla cars. But in this document that speaks of the 305 under the year of 1947, it all begins with the first computer and the first bug. So if anybody's interested in reading this document, you'll see details in this document that you will know that they are speaking, they have the document in reference to the physical plane, but they are speaking in spiritual, on a spiritual level. The final rule addresses some aspects of Reese. And I just explained to you what the definition of Reese is. Safety through documentation measures consistent with, and they give numbers, documentation measures, which means the list of information provided by manufacturers at, and they give another name, demonstrates that they are considered assessed, mitigated, and identified risk for safe operation of the vehicle. The final rules documentation requirements address safety risk mitigation associated with charging and discharging during low temperatures, providing a warning if there is a malfunction of the vehicle controls that manage safe operation, providing a warning if there is thermal event in the Reese, safety risk mitigation for thermal runaway propagation due to the internal short circuit of a single cell. The GTR takes a documentation approach to these aspects of safety because it rapidly evolving electric vehicle technologies and the variety of available Reese and electric vehicle designs. NHTSA agrees that there are currently no objective test procedures in this specified area and that are not design restrictive given current state of knowledge. Look at it. Look at this now. Currently, no objective test procedures in these specified areas that are not design restrictive given the current state of knowledge. Thus, until test procedures and performance criteria can be developed for all vehicle powertrain architectures, there is a code will require manufacturers to submit documentations to at the request of that identifies all known safety hazards, describes their risk mitigation safety hazards, and applicable describes how they provide a warning to address safety hazard. The purpose of the documentation approach is twofold. There we go. That's another proof when you have something twofold. They're talking about as above, so below. As above, so below. Twofold. Given the variation of battery design, we're talking battery testing now, and design specific risk mitigation systems, the documentation requirement will be a means of ensuring that each manufacturer has identified safety risks and safety risk mitigation strategies. The requirement provides a means for NHTSA to learn the risks associated with the Reese, understand how the manufacturer addressing the risk, and oversee the overseers those safety hazards. This approach is battery technology neutral. Battery technology neutral, not design restrictive, and is intended to evolve over time as battery technologies continue to rapidly evolve. It is an interim measure intended to ensure that manufacturers will identify and address the safety risks of Reese until such time as objective performance standards can be developed that can be applied to all applicable Reese designs. Now, what does that mean? Right here, they just showed you a whole bunch of safety risks on electrical cars. Why only 700,000 of the cars are being recalled for Elon? Shouldn't all electrical vehicles be recalled right now? Every single one of them, based on this document right here? No, because they're talking on twofold. They're going into the spiritual plane. They have the words in here, the cell malfunctions. Let me show you other words in here that you know that they're talking nature and design, function, danger. Hold up. Certain records, Safety Act. Hold up. Provisions. Hold up. Background. Post crash. Electrolyte spillage from the batteries. Electric powered vehicles, electric light spillage, and electric shock protection to reduce deaths and injuries from electric shock. Electric powered vehicles, electric light spillage, and electric shock protection. We're in chemistry now. Is to reduce deaths of injuries from electric shock. The standard applies only to light vehicles. The standard applies only to light vehicles. The standard requirements reduce risk of harmful electric shock during normal vehicle operation and in post-crash situations to protect vehicle occupants and rescue workers and others who may come in contact with the vehicle after the crash. The standard requirements for former protect against direct and indirect contact of high voltage shortages during everyday operation of the vehicles. The focus of the in-use testing, unlike post-crash testing, deals with the performance and criteria that will be assessed without first exposing the vehicle to a crash test. Here's a code. 305 has many more codes. Requirements for light vehicles, including requirements for electrical safety during the normal vehicle operation. Light codes are 305 going up, going up, going up. They go into dates that more than likely have to do with times and agreements of situations that happen to people in their spiritual transition over their lives. So they have a 1998 agreement. You mean they was pulling cars and electric cars from 1998 off the shelves? They say this is a global establishment from 1998 agreement with a world forum of harmonization of vehicle regulations, harmonizing the harmonious events of 1998. And the agreement was entered into 2000. Now, what happened in March 2012? Formally adopted its 158th session in development of the favors of these establishments and contracts that happened and began from the 1998 global agreement and the contacting and contracting parties in 1998 in regards to these electrical powered light beings. Water exposure during vehicle washing and driving through 10 centimeters deep water on the roadway. Vibration. Here they speak in chemistry right here in words that I wrote for my grand's alphabet on chemistry and geometry. External short circuit, overcharge, over discharge, overcurrent, high operating temperature, low operating temperature, emitted management of emitted gases. See, Those beings are gaseous beings. They're gaseous beings. Water exposure during, these are the angular beings. Going into chemistry, the angular beings, water exposure during vehicle washing and driving through 10 centimeters deep water on the roadway. Thermal shock and cycling, vibration, resistance. How many of you remember understanding and secret energy when it was the resistance? What is she talking about now? Grandma, you going all over the place. Those in the conscious community, and the streamers and developers who come in and sneak and listen, they know what I'm talking about. How many of you knew about, before it became understanding and secret energy, there was the resistance? There was the resistance. Huh? Where you at, Rambo? Never. That's Savan Bomar. Low energy content, Reese control and operational failure, thermal runaway propagation. I believe it's just propagation. Huh? Mechanical shock, mechanical integrity, post crash. When those light beings came in April 2024, that is what this right here is in reference to. Now they want to talk about lithium, transport of dangerous goods. How they went from talking about a car that's going to post crash to talking about transportation of dangerous goods. Oh, the fact that if it hits the light, it might explode. ET phone home. We finna get back into the telephone. I just had to show you the connection to this document and how they coming up with simulations on the physical plane, but they really going on twofold with all of them. Twofold with all of them. Here are the words. Here's the companies that look. This a whole spell right here. Honda, Bluebird. Y'all know that's the one that deal with school buses. Bugatti, DTNA, E10, E10, Ford, Frudenberg, Honeywell, Hyundai, Lubrizo, Lucid, NFA, Nikola, that's Nikola Tesla, Nissan, Rivian, and Volkswagen. And that's Kaka, that's the Cali brand. Then when you get into their demons, they go into Save, Edta, Mima, Nima, Ema, and Zeta. I know what I'm talking about. So they gave you the twofold. They gave you the brand of the vehicles in spiritual plane, and then they gave you the industry demons that come out of the council to handle the brand. They also have Creaform in here, and Lilo and Kurt. You don't have to believe me. This is a telepathic communication news. All right. Now, one last thing in regards to the 305 network portal, all up it through his call to war. His call to war. See the codes? We talking back to the future codes up in here. What this got to do with the vehicle? The capacitor. Look at this. Look at this. Tell me if this ain't no back to the future code. I'm gonna put the whole thing in the what you call it for they demon. Mima and Eaton. Mima and Eaton. Eaton was supposed to be shut all the way down. They make it Eaton the new antebellum. They make it Eaton the new antebellum. But they called Mima and Eat. Here, I put it all in the chat. That ain't no Back to the Future. Yeah, ain't no more Back to the Future, Elon and y'all. This is the last time. Huh? This is the last time. You have until the 25th. You have until the 25th. Okay. This is the last time. And I'm talking to the children who are lost and don't want to be born again. You have until the 25th. Because what they are going to do, it's not going to be stopped. It ain't no stopping with it because it's written and they want your light bad. They want as many lost souls as possible to keep they big wheels turning and they little wheels. Now, back to the 305. 305 in 1947. All of the state of Florida was given a code 305 in 1947. What events happened in 1947 that would be a significant sign about the transition of light code and computers and all of that? Well, it says here that the first bug. Wait, okay. April 1947, the previous discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in the Qumran caves by Bedouin shepherds becomes known. So they didn't even find the Dead Sea Scrolls, according to them, until 1947, or they didn't reveal it to the world until 1947. That's something significant that happened in 1947 when they gave what you call it, Florida, the code of 305. The International Organization of Standardization was founded in 1947. As a matter of fact, I think the World Bank, International World Bank, was established in 1947. Let me see. The lowest air temperature in North America's 63 degrees Celsius is recorded in Alaska. I'm going to start back up with January. So it was a hectic winter in UK in 1947. I wonder if they're going to replay that one. United Nations, which is out of New York, takes control of the city in Italy. So United Nations captures a free city out of Italy. the city and seaport of northeastern the Trieste. So, oh, they adopt a resolution to take control. So the United Nations is in control of this city in Italy. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Hold on. It's a lot of information in here, but I'm looking at the ones that have to do with the transition of light code or the taking over a reset. Okay, I think I remember something at Notre Dame in 1947. So I'm going to go back and check that out. In Paris, France, peace treaties are signed between World War II allies in Italy, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria, and Finland. Italy cedes most of Istria and the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. A meteorite creates an impact crater in Sikhote Allen in Soviet Union. So a meteorite I wonder how big that impact crater is. Well, it says that there was a what you call it, a meteorite in 1947 that came through, and then all of a sudden, the expansion of the area codes got hectic. Again, Florida gained the area code 305 in 1947. Let's see. Cold War. The Voice of America begins to transmit radio broadcasts from Eastern Europe and the Soviet Union. So the same year that that crater hit Soviet Union or that ship landed or got shot down is the same year that Voice of America begins to transmit radio broadcasts into Eastern Europe and Soviet Union. Los Angeles had a big explosion that year that left a 22-foot crater in the ground. 100, the electroplating company. U.S. Army Ordnance Corps Hermes program V2 rocket Blossom 1 is launched into space carrying plant material and fruit flies. What? The first living things to enter space? Well, what happened with that research and development? Did the fruit flies survive? In 1947, the U.S. Army Ordnance Corps, the Hermes program, B-2 rocket Blossom 1 launched into space carrying plant material and fruit flies. The first living things to enter space. Let me click the Hermes program. I want to know more about that. What was the outcome? Help me! Did the flies become the fly? Help me! Help me! Edwin Land demonstrates the first instant camera. His Polaroid land camera to a meeting of the Optical Society of America in New York City. Same year, in 1947, the same year that 305 covered all of Florida. Here's something about the Volkswagen. I just mentioned reading the Hennessy Jr. brings first Volkswagen Beetle to the United States. He purchased a 1946 automobile from the U.S. Army Post Exchange in Frankfurt, Germany. And there we have the Beetlebug. What was that show? What was that movie? Herbie. I think it was Herbie the Volkswagen. Whatever the name of that Volkswagen was. It was a target. It was a thinking car. Wasn't a Volkswagen movie about a car that had its own mind? I need to go back and watch those Volkswagen Beetle shows. Wasn't it? Now that I think about it, didn't it have its own mind? Let me type in the Beetle movie, the Volkswagen Beetle movie. Let's go. What was the name of that? We love those little series, those sequels. The Volks. Let me, come on, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm trying to figure out the name of that movie. What is the name of that movie? Now we getting somewhere. The Volkswagen was able to talk and think and move on its own. Or didn't they? It wasn't just that it was talking on its own. Wasn't something uploaded, or a person died and was uploaded into the car or something like that? Well, wow, my goodness. My goodness. Who would have thought that that movie had anything or could connect to anything today for me? What is the name? Now, I ain't got nobody to help me out right now. Was it Herbie? I think it was called Herbie. Herbie. Yes, 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 it was. It was called Herbie. And the number on there was 53. Wow, the love bug. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Herbie after his uncle. Jim noticed the car's unnatural performance levels. Jim pursues a romantic relationship. Carol decides to with Jim, Tennessee, and Herbie in an Eldorado. Herbie is damaged and splits in two, but wins the rear half and beats Thorndike's Apollo GT fully repaired. Herbie takes the newlywed Jim and Carol on their honeymoon. Wait, how does he become Herbie though? How does he become like thinking for himself after he's accused of stealing him? Tennessee Steins met Buddy Hackett, Jim's best friend, a mechanic, and his housemate, names the car Herbie. Jim notices the car's unnatural performance levels and decides to take him with great success. Herbie is retired from racing and has been left in Tennessee's widow's aunt, Miss Steins met. See the Steins? Jim is entered racing circuits. Tennessee resides in Tibet. Miss Steins met in her displaced neighbor Nicole Stephanie Powers try to save her house from being bulldozed by real estate developer Alonzo Hawk. Oh, with the help of Herbie and Willoughby Whitfield, Hawk's nephew. Herbie goes to Monte Carlo. Okay, so now he goes to France. Herbie goes bananas. He has to go against a car they call Ocho. The 2 digits of Herbie's number, so it was like his twin, his as above, so below. So he was 53, and his evil nemesis is Paco Ocho. He's an 8. Stop the gang of con artists from stealing source of ancient Inca gold. They told the story of history through the Herbie movies. Did you know they told the stories and history of life through the Herbie movies? Herbie made 51 million in 1968. When I grew up, we was watching Herbie movies. 88 minutes. Herbie rides again. What you say here? What you say? What you say? What you say? I want to know who it was that was inside Herbie. Who who was inside? Who was the demon inside Herbie? All right, so enough of that. Oh, let me finish. Let me get out of Herbie. I got stuck on a Volkswagen spin. What else happened in 1947 when they deemed Florida? I'm still on that fruit fly too. Fruit flies in space. What else happened? What else happened? Okay, the International Monetary Fund begins to operate. So 191 countries with their headquarters out of Washington, D.C. The International Monetary Fund is a major financial agency of the United Nations and the International Financial Institute, funded by 191 countries with headquarters in Washington, D.C. It is regarded as the global leader of last resort to national governments. What? German rocket scientists. Somebody said the other day, we need more of the brainiacs and scientists and stuff on Earth, or whatever I heard them say. I didn't even stay. As soon as I heard them say that, I got off. And it here, he probably respect Werner von Braun, marries his first cousin, 18-year-old Maria von Kerstrup. Did he get time for not only marrying his cousin, but her being 18? Oh, they was German Americans. Was German American aerospace engineer, space architect. I guess he was never charged because she wasn't of age. Oh, maybe back then the of age was, how old was he at the time that he married his first cousin? How old was he when he married his first cousin and she was 18 years old? He married her in 1947. So he was in his 30s. He was almost 40 when he married his head honcho aerospace dynamics, and he worked with Walt Disney. He worked with Walt Disney. See, all them ain't been held accountable yet. He worked with who I'm talking about. Oh my bad, y'all can't see what I'm looking at. He worked with Walt Disney. He was the operations. He worked with the United States Army. Oh, is you gonna be on the line of held of accountability from the Knight's Cross? The Cross of Knights with the Cross of Swords award that you received. Mm. If he married her at 18, he must have been messing with her before she turned 18. If he married her when she turned 18, he was already messing with her before she turned 18. You don't get no awards over here back to 1947. Back to 1947. Treaty of Dunkirk. The whole system gonna fail. Let's see. Cold War begins. Widespread flooding for the winter of the British. Coal mine explosion. 111 miners. What? Dead Sea Scrolls. King George. Give me a moment. Texas City disaster. Ammonia nitrate cargo from the Liberty ship. Texas City explodes. And this blueprint out here on the ocean is the same blueprint that they have. Am I sharing this screen? Can you see the screen? You see what screen I'm sharing? Nope, you don't see the screen I'm sharing. This same blueprint. It was one of the largest man-made non-nuclear explosions in history, killing 581 people, including all but one member of the city fire department, injuring at least 5,000 and destroying 20 city blocks. Of the dead remains, 113 are never found and 62 are unidentifiable. Who here living in this day and time, this happened in 1947, remembers this nuclear explosion? I'm just saying, 5,000 destroyed 20. Do any of you know how long a block is for a city? You mean to tell me 20 city blocks? Where is that in history? Somebody still living from 1947. Y'all remember that? Woo, woo. Is this a prophecy or because they sure got a plan that speaks of destruction. And I showed the blueprint several times. That's supposed to cause mass flooding. But who am I? This is just stuff for the left behind anyway. The first public demonstration of a TV camera zoom lens in New York NBC studios. All this is in Africa. I mean, in 1947, y'all. Mr. Pless, his head was found in South Africa. Hold up. Cold War begins again. How many Cold Wars? The doomsday clock of the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists is introduced. The doomsday clock was introduced in 1947 The clock is moved 150 seconds, 2 minutes, 30 seconds in 2017, then forward 2 minutes to midnight, January 2018. January 2020, it was moved forward 100 seconds, 1 minute and 40 seconds before midnight. In January 2023, the clock was moved forward 90 seconds, 1 minute, 30 seconds before midnight. Announced in a live stream, the further explained to be impacted by considerations of biosecurity concerns, resulting in a large part from the global effects of Russian invasion of Ukraine. In an article authored by the members of the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists Science and Security Board, which include public health expert Suzette McKinney. She looked familiar. And Asha M. George, the board announced the clock remained unchanged in January 2024. So all the years they've been moving the clock, the doomsday clock, it stayed the same for 2024. The doomsday clock. There's the doomsday clock. Oh, they created a doomsday clock and it had already had doomsday for 2024, huh? Wow. So the doomsday clock was created in 1947. I didn't even know that. I heard of the doomsday clock, but I thought that was a myth. I thought the doomsday clock was a myth, really, truly. I thought it was like from some type of movie. I didn't know it was something they actually got ticking. They literally have a doomsday clock ticking. Okay. All right then. Well, it started in 1947 after that ship crashed in Soviet Union, after they found the Dead Sea Scrolls and let the world know about it in 1947, after they gave Florida all of the 305 code that is in Elon Musk electric its electric Federal Register document for today. What? What else happened? What else happened besides the National Malaria Eradication Program happened in 1947? Didn't I just talk about malaria yesterday? And they trying to, the people, the head of Congo, the head of Congo, the king and the queen of Congo, they was there, the billionaires sitting in the Notre Dame portal, reportalization. Oh, so Roswell happened in 1947 also. So they showed this incident in Roswell, but they didn't make a big deal about the ship that hit Soviet Union. And then radio frequencies taking off and all this other stuff just taking off, huh? So in 1947, they had a program launched to try to kill the sickle. Okay, so and also in 1947, they had a flying disc photo from Phoenix that looked like this in 1947. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? The same year that 305 was stamped on Florida, and Elon Musk and them using Back to the Future capacitor codes and all kind of notes in twofold, spiritual and physical, in their electric powertrain global integrity document in the Federal Register today. Nope, this is telepath. This is about the phone. All this started about a phone. Um, then they got a Exodus. The ship Exodus leaves France for Palestine with 4,500 Jews, Holocaust survivor, refugees on board. Uh huh. Yeah, I hear you. Elon, y'all, it's time to be transparent and tell the world the truth. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop. It's time. It is that time. Huh? Because y'all know you're not supposed to be secretive. It is a bound against the heavenly contract. There ain't no waiting till the last minute to tell them the truth. With all these incentives and stuff that y'all throwing out there, trying to make it seem like y'all got even the very elect, like Red Squid X, almost fooled that you trying to do something good. and let and let Dr. Malachi Z York out of there, huh? Y'all know y'all was supposed to been did that. 1947 Stardust accident. They right now talking about sprinkling diamond dust over the earth. Right now, y'all. Huh? Right now, they talking about taking and sprinkling diamond dust over the earth. Spraying diamond dust over the earth. They gonna have to do it with an explosion. Uh-huh. So you could be looking like what's the vampires from Twilight? Soon as they stand in the sun, well, the fake sun, because they wasn't getting no sun up there in Washington State. Soon as they stand in a little bit of sunshine, they bodies glitter with diamond. They trying to turn y'all into vampires. Talking about sprinkling diamond dust. Why am I talking about? Because it says the Stardust accident happened in 1947. Stardust accident. Muhammad Ali becomes the first governor of Pakistan. The Muslims began their independence after all them years. Mm. They finally gained their independence from the British Empire. Then that has something to do with Gandhi. I don't see Gandhi name on here. I don't know. Let me keep on looking. Okay. A moth lodged like a moth to the flame. A moth lodged in a relay is found to be the cause of a malfunction at Harvard Mark II electromechanical computer, logged as the first actual case of a bug being found in a computer. That happened in September of 1947. The CIA came into existence the same year, 1947, when they stamped 305 on the state of Florida. When they stamped 305 on the state of Florida, the first Fort Lauderdale hurricane happened in Florida and went to Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. The National Security Act of 1947 becomes effective on this day creating United States Air Force, National Security Council, and Central Intelligence Agency. So the United States Air Force just came into effect 1947. Well, what were they called when they was going over to all them other wars? Information Communist Workers, International Communist Movement. October 1st, the first recorded use of word computer in its modern sense happened in October. It don't even say October 1st. It just say October. So then it says October 1st. October 5th, here's where the octahedral comes into effect. The sciences of octahedral came into effect. They had the Bell X that traveled faster than the speed of sound in 1947. All this stuff just all of a sudden just pooh, everything happened in 1947, meaning everything else that they have recorded before that was false. Huh? The International Telecommunication Union becomes specialized agency of the United Nations. So the telecommunications system, even the postal service, becomes a specialized agency in 1947. It seems like everything was developed all at once in 1947. I mean, I'm not saying that it actually did that because then, you know, I have a grandmother here who says she's 95, 96. She's almost 100 years old. But she doesn't remember much things. Uh, like she didn't see a car until she was a woman. She said she didn't know about cars existed until she was in her late teens, a woman. That would mean right about 1947 is when cars came into reality. Let me get on up out of here. I was going to stay a little longer, but I got work to do. Okay? I plan on doing a full, long, enjoyable. Should I tell you, I like what I do. I like the job that I do. I really love it as an independent contractor. The position that I have, I love it. I enjoy it. I get a pleasure every time. I just do. I really do. So I'm gonna come back later this evening, possibly, maybe, and read from the Holy Tablets where I started off with concentration and ended up on tele and the telepaths and the teleports. Mm. And again, for those who hear the sound of my voice, before the final transition and the Antichrist takes his full stance, that is the 25th. You have until January. When I say you have until January 25th, I'm not talking to them. Because nothing that the word has changed can stop. Now, you having a choice to be born again, that's at every single moment of time, every second, every day. To preach to all the world in this generation to become a light and help grab somebody else by their hand of light. Uh, Greater light and I will be back later. Let me. What is the close it out song? Which one I want to close out with? What I want to start. Mm, he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Let's go home. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Let's go home. Let's 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 go home.
Jim, you coming? It's crawling. Your coming is beautiful in the horizon of heaven. Glory to glory to glory to glory. Be ooh ooh, living you the beginning of life and the living. Glory to glory to glory, glory me. Oh no, yeah, oh no way. All powerful, all power. Glory be to our God. Ooh, everlasting, redeemer, savior, savior. Glory be to our God. The coming is beautiful in the horizon of heaven. Glory to glory to glory to glory be. Ooh, ooh, living you the beginning of life and the living. Glory to glory to glory, glory me. Holy One, King of Kings, on your throne. Lord of Lords, Lord of Lords, glory be to our God. Ooh, Prince of Peace, beginning G and then our goal in life. The great I am, the great I. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, be to our God, glory be to our goal. Living you the beginning of life and the living. Glory to glory to glory, glory me. Yeah. You're coming. Let's go.
Are beings who have perfected themselves from billions of different galaxies, and they look different depending on where they are, the different colors of their lights, the different ways they vibrate. And when and if they're given leave by the Almighty to come down to earth, just like Jesus said in St. John, to come down to earth, he who came down can go back up.
Our God, coming is beautiful in the horizon of heaven. Glory to glory to glory to glory be. Ooh, ooh, living you the beginning of life and the living. Glory to glory to glory, glory me. Holy One, King of Kings, on your throne. Lord of Lords, Lord of Lords, glory be to our God. Glory be to our God. Ooh, peace of peace, beginning ninja in our thought life. The great I am, the great I. Ooh, yeah. Be to our God. Ooh, be to our God. Glory be to our God. Living you the beginning of life and the living. Glory to glory to glory, glory me.
But only he who came down can go back up. So there are people on earth whose name is not written in the book of life since the foundation of the world, because they are not spirits who came down. They were spirits who were created on earth, because it said the Spirit of the Lord was upon the face of the water before man even got here.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.